The Galactic Military Academy had never seen anything like Marcus Chen. Standing barely 1.8 meters tall among towering Vorthak warriors and crystalline Zephyrians, the human cadet looked like a child who had wandered into the wrong building. His instructors exchanged knowing glances. Another charity case from the newly inducted Terran Republic, destined to wash out within the first semester. Commander Thaxalon, a decorated Vorthak general with scars mapping a dozen campaigns across his granite-like hide, addressed the assembled first-year cadets. Welcome to the most elite military institution in the galaxy. Here, we forge the strategic minds that will lead the Galactic Alliance to victory against the Void Swarm. Many of you will not survive the academic rigors ahead. His reptilian eyes settled on Marcus with undisguised disdain. Some species simply lack the cognitive architecture for advanced warfare. The humans' recent admission to the Alliance was political. Marcus said nothing, but his jaw tightened imperceptibly. The first test came during Strategic Planning 101. Cadets were presented with the Battle of Kepler Station, a famous Alliance victory where overwhelming Zephyrian shields held against impossible odds until reinforcements arrived. The textbook solution emphasized defensive positioning and resource conservation. While his classmates regurgitated standard doctrine, Marcus submitted something entirely different. Instead of holding the station, his proposal evacuated all personnel within. The first hour, rigged the entire facility with improvised explosives and retreated to nearby asteroid fields. When the enemy fleet arrived to claim their prize, they found a trap that would eliminate 60% of their forces in a single coordinated detonation. Preposterous, snorted Instructor Veltar, her crystalline form refracting disdain into prismatic colors. You've abandoned a crucial strategic position. This violates the fundamental principle of territorial defense. With respect, Instructor, Marcus replied calmly. Dead heroes don't win wars. Live soldiers do. The room erupted in outraged clicks, growls, and harmonic discord from his alien classmates. To suggest abandoning ground was tantamount to cowardice in galactic military culture. But Admiral Corinth, observing from the back of the classroom, made a note in his personal datapad. As weeks progressed, Marcus's unconventional thinking became legendary and controversial. In fleet combat simulations, while others focused on formation integrity and honor duels between capital ships, Marcus deployed swarms of automated mining drones to blind enemy sensors before launching surgical strikes on supply lines. When tasked with defending a colony world, he evacuated the population and seeded the atmosphere with industrial nanites that would corrode enemy equipment over time. The human fights like a scavenger, complained Cadet Zorthul, a Vorthak whose family had served with distinction for generations. Where is the honor in victory through deception? Marcus looked up from his tactical projections. Honor doesn't resurrect the dead. I'd rather be a living scavenger than an honored corpse. The breaking point came during the Academy's most prestigious exercise, the Kepler War Games. Teams of senior cadets commanded actual starships in elaborate mock battles, with career implications riding on every decision. Marcus found himself assigned to the historically weakest faction. 3 outdated frigates against the Academy's star students commanding a battlecruiser and escort fleet. Standard doctrine suggested a fighting retreat, trading space for time, while inflicting maximum casualties. Every simulation run in Academy history had ended in noble defeat for the weaker force. Marcus began by doing something unprecedented. He surrendered. Then, while his captors celebrated and relaxed their guard, he activated pre-positioned maintenance drones that had been slowly replacing critical ship components with sabotaged equivalents over the previous week. The enemy fleet found itself crippled not by weapons fire, but by coffee makers that overloaded power grids, gravity generators that reversed polarity, and navigation systems that had been quietly rewriting themselves. As the Academy's pride and joy drifted helplessly through space, Marcus's supposedly defeated frigates emerged from behind a moon where they had been hiding, capturing the entire enemy fleet without firing a shot. The reviewing board was apoplectic. Accusations of cheating flew like plasma bolts, but Marcus had violated no stated rules. He had simply refused to accept the artificial constraints that defined proper warfare. Admiral Corinth finally spoke, his ancient voice cutting through the chaos. In real war, cadets, the enemy does not follow our rules. They do not announce their intentions or limit themselves to approved tactics. This human has demonstrated something we have forgotten in our pursuit of military elegance. The enemy's most dangerous assumption is that we will fight the way we always have. Within hours, Marcus's unconventional scenarios were being uploaded to the Academy's central database. His mining drone tactics became required study for sensor warfare courses. His evacuation and trap strategies found their way into defensive doctrine manuals. His maintenance drone infiltration technique spawned an entirely new field of logistical warfare. The same instructors who had dismissed him as cognitively inferior now fought to claim credit for recognizing his potential. The Academy's war manual, unchanged for 3 centuries, was hastily revised to include chapters on asymmetric engagement theory and adaptive tactical philosophy. But Marcus wasn't finished. In his final presentation, he addressed the Academy's graduating class with a simple observation that would revolutionize galactic military thinking. Every species in this galaxy evolved as predators or prey. You either learned to hunt stronger enemies or you learned to hide from them. Humans learned to do both, and then we learned to make tools that made the distinction irrelevant. We didn't evolve to be the strongest or the fastest or the smartest. We evolved to be the most adaptable. In war, adaptability isn't just an advantage, it's the only advantage that matters. As the first human to graduate with highest honors from the Galactic Military Academy, Marcus Chen returned to Earth not as the charity case who couldn't compete, but as the architect of a new era of warfare. The Void Swarm, which had terrorized the galaxy with their predictable aggression for millennia, would soon discover what humans had always known. The most dangerous enemy is the one who refuses to fight fair. The war manual that had once declared humans cognitively unsuited for advanced strategy now bore his name on the cover, and across the galaxy, a new philosophy echoed through military academies. Fight like a human.